Give me a little countdown.
Dojo Outfitter family, what's going on? Welcome back to the show. Today we got Richie Boogeyman Martinez. What's up,
What is
brother?
up, man? How you doing today?
Yo, first of all, thank you so much for coming out. You're doing a double today.
Yes.
Already had a match at Sug. We'll get into that
Yes.
here in a second. Now we got to talk a little. You know what I'm saying? First of all, dude, I respect you so much.
Thank you.
I right away as a white belt, like you're easy to gravitate towards.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
people
yeah.
see you, you're tough, you're really good, you win, like you're fun, like you have a cool, unique look to you.
Thank you.
And so right away I was gravitated towards you. And I thought you were a cool dude, but then I started talking to one of your students, dude, and now I have dude, you have mad respect for me. I think you're a cool dude. That's the first time I've sworn on the podcast. Maybe we can take that out. I've done like 12 episodes, and I just got way too excited.
Nah,
dude.
but man, I really do appreciate that. You know, like it's the kind of energy that I want to give out. You know, so I try to be respectful, but at the same time, I love having fun and being a hard competitor as well. I want to be me when I'm out there, and I want to be me as an individual. So if I could put that out a little bit and people could notice it, even better. So thank you, and I really do appreciate that, man.
Dude, am I the only person who couldn't put two and two together that you and Gio were brothers?
Yeah, pretty much. I would say, no, yeah, that's my younger brother. But honestly, for most people, the only thing they're like, who's older? And I'm like, well, obviously me. But you're one of the only people that didn't probably know he was my brother. But after this podcast, we'll probably get more people that'll be like, I didn't know they were brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
So
I took an announcer. Like, I was watching one of your matches, and the announcer was like, and they're his brother. And I was like, dude, I was like, oh,
was
man.
it Quintet?
Yeah, I think it was the quintet.
Yeah.
Dude, how'd you even get started in jiu-jitsu? I've seen the old breakdancing videos, so you were probably like a legend right away.
Man, so yeah, it's pretty fun story. I started jiu-jitsu because I got invited, or we were teaching breakdancing at a jiu-jitsu/dance studio, and the instructor there, the owner of the gym, he's like, you guys could train jiu-jitsu for free if you guys wanted to, but we were always like MMA fans, always stuff like that. I wasn't too much into jiu-jitsu. I didn't really understand it or really knew what it was at the time. Excuse me. But I knew MMA, and I was, just a basic MMA like fan. And I always felt myself as a martial artist, like especially being a breakdancer. That's the martial arts of the streets, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like you're but it's like you're dancing to a music, but it's like everything is like really like similar to martial arts. So it's like we always felt like we had a connection with the martial art world and just the movements of martial arts. So once they told us that, it was just a no-brainer. We're like, yo, let's get into this. The thing about it is I started pretty late. I started it was like 1 month or 2 months before my birthday when I first started, before my 27th birthday. So I was 26, about to be 27 when I started jiu-jitsu. So I already had like a late head start. But the good thing about it is I was already breakdancing for 20 years. So the movements became really easy, like it was natural. But at the same time, it's like, years catching up and age is catching up, but I'm trying to push and trying to do as much as I can with the time that I do have as a competitor, and trying to keep up with these young guys, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, we're a couple 1-2 Gandalf graybeards over here,
man. But I love it, man. I have fun with it, and it's it became my whole world, and the easy part about it is my wife as well, she does jiu-jitsu, so we're always at the gym together. It's not like I'm keeping her at home and I'm over here and she's going to work and I never see her. We're always together. We're always seeing each other. So it's really cool. It was really easy for me to fall in love with jiu-jitsu because my wife fell in love with it as well,
That's super cool.
Yeah.
So tell me how you got involved with 10th Planet then.
The first gym that I was at, which was the dance studio / jiu-jitsu studio, was a 10th Planet.
No.
Yeah, and I never looked back, man. We kind of fell straight into...
It fell into your lap.
dude, it was the perfect place to be
Meant to be, dog.
because you know, like my breakdancing crew is called the Freak Show, and we're like non-traditional breakdancing. It's the opposite. It's actually called abstract breakdancing. You know what I'm saying? We became a whole genre on its own. You know what I'm saying? Like so it's like being part of the Freak Show is kind of like the anti breakdancing, and 10th Planet is kind of like the anti jiu-jitsu, I guess you would say, right? Like it's the opposite. It's like no gi, which is not traditional. So it became easy for us to fall into that group and kind of grow because it felt like we were free. It felt like freedom, you know what I'm saying? Like we didn't get tied up with like, you have to bow to me. It's like, you know, in 10th Planet, we don't bow. We're brothers. So it's brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to bow to your brothers. It's like, just give them a hug. You know what I'm saying? It became a little bit different, not so much traditional styles, which you know I totally respect and I admire the traditional way of jiu-jitsu. But I'm so happy that we kind of went the route of the non-traditional, man. It became easy, and then it was just, to be honest, like Eddie Bravo being a coach, it was just the best thing that could have happened to me, man. Because it's like he became more than a brother. He became family. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that's what made it easy for me to be 10th Planet. And it's like, man, why would I want to be anywhere else if I'm here with my brothers and my sisters, you know? So, you know, people always ask me, it's like, why didn't you go train like with the gi and stuff? It's like, dude, I'm with my family and there's no reason to leave, you know?
Mm-hmm. So tell me about the first time you met Eddie.
I met him actually at Gracie Nationals, it was at Gracie Nationals, and Gio did jiu-jitsu prior of me. I was kind of like still living not as close as I could to the gym, so Gio was training prior of me a couple months. I think like 2 months prior of me, and then he ended up going to Gracie Nationals, which was an event in LA, and I went to go just support him, you know what I'm saying, like just go support him. And I fell in love with it right there and then, you know. I was like, man, this is like breakdancing, you know what I'm saying, like. And I met Eddie Bravo there, and I remember the first thing he's like, oh, I'm gonna call you Abraham Lincoln because of my beard. And I was like, come on, dog. And I'm like, nah, I already got a nickname you know what I'm saying, beat you to it. And I was like, because my name through breakdancing was Boogeyman, you know. And he's like, all right, we'll call you Boogeyman then. And I was like, cool.
So perfect. Tell me how you got, like, did your homies hook you up with the name Boogeyman, or?
Yeah. Well, yeah, Gio started calling me Boogeyman. He's like, you're like the Boogeyman of breakdancing, because I was like the bigger guy. I had a mohawk. Like, I've always was into like punk rock and like kind of like electro kind of music, electronica and stuff like that. So it's like I kind of had a different kind of like vibe than the regular breakdancing guy, you know. And
Yeah.
so then Gio was like, you're like the Boogeyman because like you boogie, right? Like you could dance, but you're also pretty scary. You're tall, mohawk, and you're always like in people's faces when you're dancing. He's like, it's the perfect name. And I was like, I like it. You know what I'm saying? So it became part of my name, man. Like I believe my mom even calls me Boogeyman at time to time, you know what I'm saying? So it just became me, you know. It's like my whole persona, not even my persona, just like it is who I am, Boogeyman, you know?
Dude, that's so cool. That's like when I got my nickname, I was like, okay, it doesn't suck, so we're gonna go with that.
Yeah.
I was like, Chicken Bone. I was like, that's not terrible.
Yeah. To be honest, like there's some people that like, you know, I'm one to like, not everybody has to have a nickname, but it's like when it's given to you and it fits, man, it just fits.
You gotta
know
go
what I'm
with
saying?
it.
You just gotta go with it. Sometimes you may not like it and it just becomes part of you, man. But man, like there's some people that's like, I'm gonna be called this. Lightning or something. I'm like, dude, you can't get your own name. Like you can't force that name. It's like if that's somebody's nickname for you, then it's perfect. But if you give yourself that name, it's like, I'm gonna be Flash. It's like, no, you cannot be Flash. You know what I'm saying?
We can't call no grown man Flash.
I know, I'm not gonna
Come
call
on,
you
brother.
Flash. Come on. So yeah, so that's kind of the way I got my nickname, and to be honest, it's stuck, and like I love it, man. It's
a perfect
It's
fit.
who I am, man.
Oh,
you
dude.
know?
It's a total perfect fit. So let's get right into it. So you've competed 2 SUGs in a row, correct?
3 or in a row, yes, 2.
So I really want to talk about the Austin Vanderford match
For
first,
sure.
because you really had in my opinion, you had a shot, and it was super early.
For sure.
I can't. Did you get him in rubber guard right away?
Yeah, I had him in a carney, which is
Yeah.
like a arm bar from rubber guard.
Yep.
You know, so a straight arm bar from a rubber guard, and I had it super fast. But you know, my biggest my weakness. It's not even a weakness. It's like my biggest. It's a flaw that I have. I don't know what it is, what I would call it, but I always go for the kill, which is I guess is not a flaw. But once I get something like a bite of something, like it's hard to get them to engage again.
That's exactly what I was gonna
You
say.
know,
Is
and it's been a problem of my game. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel that they're not down to just throw down. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I feel like once I attack and I get a good bite, it's kind of like intimidating to go back in there. You know, and it becomes like that's my best weapon, but my biggest flaw because once I catch something and it's like a fast submission, it's a great scenario. But then if I catch them and they escape, then they don't want to commit anymore. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So it's like a good weapon, but it also like has failed me in the past.
It kind of seemed like he ran.
Yeah, I mean I wouldn't call it run, but it's like he knew what I was capable of, and it was dangerous. If he would have came in, it would have been dangerous for him, and he saw the danger. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And instead of like trying to like overcome it with good like great offense, it was kind of like playing defensively. You know what I'm saying? So me as a guard player, I had to like kind of go after him a little bit, but his defense was good. He was doing the right thing not to get caught. Honestly, like people were telling me different things about it, but I can't hate on somebody that wants to fight and not get submitted. Like I never want to get submitted. So the best bet is gonna be, yo, you gotta be defensive right now. So, and maybe take it to overtime. And I feel that was the best bet for him, and it worked out for him. And I don't knock nobody down that did well. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, he ended up winning. So he played the game that he wanted to play, and he was successful with it. I guess I would say.
Yeah, no, 5 minutes just doesn't
Short.
seem, and I totally get it, because if all four matches go all 10 minutes and then all
For
however
sure,
long
for
of the
sure,
overtime,
for
it
sure.
can get
It's gonna
boring,
be long and boring. Yeah,
especially
yeah.
for casuals.
For sure,
For
sure.
the hardcores, for people who do jujitsu, they're probably gonna watch the whole thing.
For sure, for
right?
sure.
They want to probably keep it moving for casuals.
Especially since it's on like UFC Fight Pass, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it more exciting, so the matches go a little bit faster. But it also, like in that match, it kind of like messed me up a little bit because I wasn't able to. I didn't have enough time to get to work more. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
I got to work one scenario, and it was good, but then he escaped. And then I wasn't able to play anything else after that, which kind of bit me in the butt. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, man, like for me, like losses like that, I take them like it is what it is. There's no win without losses, and there's no losses without wins. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to understand how to be a good loser and a good winner. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it's like it wasn't my day, and as much as it sucks, like this is the kind of scenario. It's like I have to come back and redeem myself, and thankfully tonight I got the W. You know what I'm saying? So it just part of the game. It's a 50% chance, and sometimes you might not be on that good side.
Yeah. Well, that's a great segue into your match today. So you versus Kevin Casey.
Yeah.
And kind of like the opposite of the match that you had before.
Yes. Yeah. This time, I've been working a lot of wrestling lately, and I've been talking to a couple of my friends, and then they're like, or teammates, and then they're like, maybe fill him out a little bit, and I feel that he had a foot sweep, and it caught me by surprise. You know what I'm saying? Like I was really trying to just fill him out while we were standing, and that foot trip got me in guard. But he was so high up that I wasn't able to play my guard, and before I knew, he was already in side control, and he recently said on an interview that he was like 235, 240, and I definitely felt every single pound.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I usually compete at 185, but I felt all his weight, and I could not move him off of me, and especially because we're really close to the cage, and it's even worse, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but I knew what I was up. I've been playing next to the wall or next to like where I could resemble kind of like a cage, and once he mounted, I just couldn't get him off. So the best bet that I started thinking, I was like, well, he can't submit you here, so make sure you're playing good defensively, and hopefully like you're able to move him a little bit. I was bridging up a little bit, trying to get him off of balance. Actually, I was trying to get him in a heel hook while he was mounting me. I was trying to bring my foot inside. And
I was actually going to ask you to break that down a little
Yes.
bit, because I was interested in what you were trying to do there.
Yes.
It almost looked like you were trying to rubber guard your.
So like he's in mount, and if I bring my foot in front of his hip, he's an Aussie now. You know what I'm saying? Like so I have to push him out, and then my knee comes in. Now we're in Ashi, something that I play a lot, but his pressure was too much. You know, like I train with a lot of guys that are like 210. You know, what I'm saying like good guys, but he's 235, 240, and it was
He looked all of
man,
235.
100%. And not to mention, he's Hickson Gracie's black belt. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a solid guy, man. He's somebody that I look up to, somebody that I respect a lot. He's been in the game for a really long time. He's a legend in MMA, and he's a beast in jiu-jitsu, and he's also a great guy, man. And, you know, those are the matches that I want to have against those kind of people that have kind of all those check marks, you know what I'm saying? Like great people and good competitors, good athletes, you know what I'm saying? And it's like somebody that's going to be respectful off and on the mat, you know, and it definitely he had his points. Like I feel he dominated the regulation and but thankfully like I've been practicing my overtimes, you know what I'm saying, a lot, and I was able to get the W, you know, like I feel armbar is a really strong position for me. Also, like the back control, but for this match, I really focused on taking his arm home. You know, and like that was something that I've already planned. And you know, second round, I had 2 seconds, and I took the arm. You know what I'm saying? So
To me, it seemed like you saw what he did the
first time. That's what I was kind of telling Micah.
And
Yeah.
then you were ready for that the
Yeah.
second time.
Yeah. Like I was gonna switch it up a little bit, maybe go armbar, then back to armbar if I needed to. But you know, I was even telling Micah earlier today, like I was like, man, like the first time I took the arm, I already knew the adjustment I needed to do to get it the second time. You know, it's a real strong move that I have, but I felt what I needed to do extra, and thankfully it worked out. You know.
A lot of people take the back instead of the arm. A lot of people.
You know, because in EBI overtime, it's like a lot of people take the back because they're thinking of the ride control, you know, and they're not like a lot of people don't believe in the in spiderweb, you know, they don't believe in the armbar because you could get stacked. But to be honest, spiderweb, you hook the legs so they can't stack you. But then again, a lot of people doubt themselves when they're going one arm versus one arm, you know, but they don't understand that you go deeper than that in control 2-on-1, you know, and you know, that's something that I've been really focused on, and a lot of my students have been really focused on, and I feel that we've been really successful with it.
You know what? Now that we're like talking, I'm kind of having like an epiphany too that he put you in armbar,
Yeah.
right? And your armbar defense was really nice. You had your foot in.
Yes,
and
yes,
you were
yes.
really using the
Yes,
foot.
yes.
Talk to me a little about
Yeah,
that.
of course. You know, the main thing that I was trying to do is I was trying to get, because he did grab my leg, so I was trying to break his grip on my thigh. Because realistically, like, if he's not holding onto my leg, then I could stack him, right? So that's kind of like the mission that I wanted to do. And he was kind of bumped me up and almost extended the arm. I was able to catch to the inside of the thigh, and I'm really good right there, especially because one of my students named Danny. Danny Bull. He's
What's up, Danny Bowl?
What's
Shout
up?
out, brother.
Like he's really good at that arm bar, and honestly, I took that from him. You know what I'm saying? Like he's really good at it, and we go overtime, and he does it on me all the time. So I was like, damn it! So it kind of like reminded me as I was in that match, and I just went and controlled the inside of my thigh, and I was able to hang on a little bit longer and play it out. You know?
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Dude, that's really cool. So I want to talk about a little bit about MMA.
For sure.
Are you still trying? Are you trying to get into the UFC? Is that like a goal, or are you?
So yeah, I'm officially retired. I've been retired for the last 2 years. Yeah, like MMA was amazing, and it was a great experience and a great platform for me to showcase my jiu-jitsu. That was my main thing. Like I never wanted to be the world champion of anything in MMA. I just wanted to have another platform so I could showcase my jiu-jitsu, especially at the time when I was fighting MMA. There wasn't these big events like there's now in jiu-jitsu. So I was like, man, you know, MMA is gonna be the only way that I'm gonna be able to make a living through this. Not knowing that like EBI will come along and Combat Jiu-Jitsu, and of course Submission Underground, Polaris. Like now there's a bunch of them. They actually pay decent money for you to compete. But before it was like MMA or nothing. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna win a gold medal, maybe like a silver medal. It's not paying rent. You know what I'm saying? So MMA was a platform that I could show my kids my jiu-jitsu, but also make decent amount of money. And I ended up fighting for, I don't know, like had a good amateur and decent professional career. But towards the end of my career, like the ending of my career, I started fighting guys that really wanted to be world champion UFC fighters. For me, I just wanted a platform to showcase my jiu-jitsu. So it became I was fighting guys that were really high level at jiu-jitsu, but they were also really good at boxing, really good at Muay Thai, really good at takedown defense. So it started becoming it's like a jiu-jitsu fighter versus a full-on MMA fighter. And that's when it started becoming like a little bit more like you're going to get injured if you don't, you know what I'm saying, if you don't either start focusing on it a little bit more, or if you don't stop now, and to be honest, I didn't love MMA. I loved the part of jiu-jitsu and MMA, just not the whole MMA,
Right.
and that was my biggest decision. Once I realized that I'm a fan of MMA, just not the biggest fan of doing the whole MMA. I'm just a big fan of jiu-jitsu more than anything, and I feel that that's the reason. That's when I started thinking to myself, I'm like, you will get injured if you keep on fighting because you're fighting top level guys now, and the last thing you want to do is hinder your basically your jiu-jitsu career, and so that's what made me decide to stop. And but the good thing about it is now I get to coach MMA fighters and I get to give them kind of like what I went through.
At least you had been in there.
Dude, I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I fought 12 fights, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I lost 2 of them, and at the end of the day, it's like that made me really realize what they need to do to take it to that next level and whatnot. And I have a lot of successful MMA fighters right now in my gym, and a lot of them have been to the UFC, Bellator champion, stuff like that. So it's been really good, and then we have a lot of up and comer MMA fighters in my gym, and the best thing that I could say is I could give them the knowledge that I have from being in there, as well. So
There was a little bit of drama tonight at Submission Underground.
oh yeah,
Mason Fowler ends up getting a win over Craig Jones
that was crazy.
via ref stoppage because of a noise.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
So somebody said it best the other day or earlier today. They sent me a message. They're like, "What do you think?" And I was like, wanting to rewatch it. Is when I kind of saw it in the back, not too well. It was like I was still kind of like calming down from my match, and they're like, it doesn't make sense that the ref didn't stop the Vinny fight when his leg was torn basically off, and then they stopped it for some noise making for a rear naked choke, and I was like, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So then I rewatched it, and it was a little bit of controversial stop, and a lot of it actually, like it was definitely controversial. Like I don't think it should have been stopped at that time. That's the hard part about being a ref. You know what I'm saying? It's like you really have to let them play it out, and sometimes you can't. You have to be extra careful. But in these kind of scenarios, it's like we're all black belts or really high level grapplers. If they're not tapping, it's for a reason.
For a reason.
You know what I'm saying? Like if he went to sleep, understandable, but you can't do it from gurgling. You know what I'm saying? That's not a reason to stop a match. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
especially when there's no crowd, so you could hear everything that's happening. You know what I'm saying? That's the hard part. Like you could hear everything that's happening. Now, it was a great match, but the overtime was really controversial and definitely didn't like the way it went down in the overtime. But the whole match was good. It was back and forth. From what I saw, I swear, like I know that he was escaping some scenarios and they were going back and forth a little bit. But at the end of the day, that overtime, it shouldn't have been like that. It shouldn't have been stopped. It should have kept on going. That's from what I saw.
Can you beat Mason Fowler?
Mason Fowler is a beast. Like I'm definitely.
Would you be interested?
Mason Fowler is a cool guy, man. The thing about it is the only way I would see him is in competition. We do a lot of different kind of style of jiu-jitsu or competitions, but yeah, I think that'll be a great match eventually. You know what I'm saying? If it ever happens, he's definitely like a lot younger, and I know but he's a really cool guy. Me and him talk all the time. You know what I'm saying? He's one of my buddies. So even Craig Jones, he's one of my buddies too. So it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Those guys are awesome. And I hope they run it back, to be honest. I want to see a more definitive winner. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll be really cool. Because each one of them has a win over the other.
Right.
So I can't wait to watch the third one around, man.
All right. Well, if people haven't left now, they're definitely gonna leave after I ask this question.
Whoop, whoop.
NBA 2K21. I see you out there in the park. It looks like you have a paint beast.
Yeah.
Let me be honest. I am a huge 2K fan. I've had 2K, dude, for years on years and years. Dude, I'm kind of mad at 2K.
Yeah, you don't like it?
Man, this is the same park.
Yeah,
the same park from the year before.
Yeah,
and the thing that I really don't like is how hard it is to get your guy up. It's like, dude,
it is hard, man. We've been, man. It's really cool though because we play as like a bunch of like the 10 Planet Freaks black belts. We all play at night. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like Gio, Ricky, me, and Kyle Chambers. We're all playing at night. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really cool to play with those guys and stuff. And that game is. It's been keeping us like really late nights just playing video games. I'm like, gotta go, guys. I gotta teach at 6 a.m. You know what I'm saying? So, but man, I love that game, and I'm super excited for 2K21 to come out.
On the new console?
Yeah. So right now we're playing it on Switch, right? But we're ready to like get that on PS5 when it comes out. You know what I'm saying? So we're ready for that PS5, and we're ready for 2K21. You know what I'm saying?
Are you gonna go with the big man again?
Yeah, man. That's. Always, man. Always. I always like the pink beast type of guys. You know what I'm saying?
I'm also a big man.
Yeah.
See, last year I told you this. We're gonna bore people to death here,
For sure.
unless you like 2K21. But last year I actually created the meta, and I didn't even know I had the defending rebounder.
Yeah.
And so I made him again this year, and they nerfed him so bad.
Oh.
Like I had a 35 rebound game in the rec. But dude, if anyone even if someone blows air at me while I try and like go back up for a putback, even though I'm 7'3",
you're down.
I'm missing every time.
Oh no!
So I just got to the point where like I'd get a rebound and just throw it out to someone to shoot a three because it was like, dude, I ain't making this.
Dude, that also that UFC 4 that looks super dope.
That
man.
looks stupid.
Looks so crazy.
I'm gonna be Jorge Masvidal in the backyard. You already know.
So crazy. Even the style bender, like in like kind of like the Thailand style, like Thai fights. Man, that looks so dope. Like I can't wait to. Like I got chills watching the trailer. I was like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like,
take my money now,
dude. Seriously, but I'm not gonna get it till it gets on PS5, man. I'm really like gonna go all in on the PS5 games. You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay.
So I mean, towards the end of the year, I guess that's when it's gonna come out, right?
I think I'm going with Xbox.
Yeah, you're gonna go Xbox with it.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
I have both right now, but I think I'm going with the Xbox.
Yeah.
Dude, hey, I appreciate you, brother.
Dude, I'm sorry that I had to cut it short, man. We just been running around doing a bunch of stuff, but man, like it was a pleasure being here, my brother. And like to be honest, whenever you want to have me back out here and I'm out here, man, I'll love to come and chill out with you guys and just talk. And even if you're ever like, yo, I'm trying to do some Zoom stuff, dude, I'll Zoom you and we'll do some FaceTime like podcast, whatever you need, brother. I'm always here for you.
Brother, real talk? Can we real talk right now?
Let's do it.
I want to come down to San Diego.
Please do.
Once everything's chill, once everything's back to normal. Dude, that would be a dream come true to be able to come and get messed up by you guys down there.
It would be awesome, man. We love having people down there, you know what I'm saying? We're always about having visitors and just new students in general. So anytime anybody's around, 10th Planet San Diego, my house is your house, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, Boogeyman. He's the man. Boogeyman. Thanks, guys. Dojo Outfitter family. Peace.